When looking at AI through the eyes of the general public, it is largely seen as a doomsday, much of this propagated by Hollywood movies showing AI ruling over humanity long into the future. However, this is simply not true, especially in the aerospace industry, where AI can be used to create a more streamlined and efficient flight process, and also increase design and flight safety. As an aerospace engineer myself, I have a vested interest in an AI being implemented into planes. However, the general public should also have a vested interest because of the ability of AI to make flights cheaper and more accessible to everyone. So how will AI do this? Through designing new parts and creating a more efficient supply chain, while also making flights safer, AI will be able to make flight far cheaper and safer in the future. First, looking at how AI helps in the design process. Looking at the traditionally manufactured strut on the left versus the AI-generated strut on the right. Many would choose the one on the left to be stronger, albeit heavier, while the one on the right to be weaker, while lighter. However, the AI-generated one is both stronger and lighter because of its use of complex geometries in the part to create a stronger connection between everything. Furthermore, according to the 3D printing company Formlabs, AI can easily design and redesign these. And from there, the engineer can choose which part works best in their product and utilize it. If roadblocks are encountered further along the road, it is easy to fall back on the hundreds or even thousands of other generated designs in order to utilize in the product as second or third. Furthermore, the question may arise why a 3D printing company has stakes in AI creating parts. This is because through the AI generated 3D models, the 3D printing company can simply just print the part rather than relying on a mold in the traditional manufacturing. All of this proves how AI is a better tool to utilize in the design process. Second, looking at how AI can be utilized in the notoriously complicated aerospace supply chain. Looking at all of these different categories, it can definitely be said that the job of a supply chain engineer in the aerospace field is far harder than a supply chain engineer in other fields. However, through the use of AI, Benoit Spolador and Maxime Kleiss state that a descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive AI can be used to understand, forecast, and optimize the process of the supply chain. In doing so, it can instantaneously gather data from all of these companies while being fully transparent to the needs of the others. And in doing so, predict the demand needed and also utilize other changing variables in order to make the process far better than it is now. Furthermore, according to Knut Alik and other co-researchers of the supply chain, it was found that through the use of AI in the supply chain, logistics costs decreased by 15%, the inventory increased by 35%, and service increased by 65%. Especially, that is when compared to other slower moving non-AI using supply chains. Finally, when looking at AI and the safety of planes, many pilots are needed to do all of the safety checks and other things needed in order to make sure a plane is ready to fly. However, through the use of AI, according to Aaron Karp, all of these minor tasks should be taken over and the pilot could focus on more critical tasks needed in order to fly the plane. Whether it be pre-flight, during the flight, or post-flight, the AI would continuously monitor all of these in order to make the pilot's job less stressful. Furthermore, according to Patrick Kai, the executive director of the European Union Aviation Safety Administration, the AI could be used to address the human performance limitations. This means that in a high-stress situation on the pilot, the AI could be utilized in order to propose solutions to the problem at hand, or even predict and give preventative solutions to the problem beforehand. So through these methods, the AI would be utilized in order to create a safer environment for the plane. Furthermore, when doing the tasks needed, the AI would also be perfect every time, rather than taking any shortcuts that may be taken by a human pilot in order to increase efficiency of the plane. In conclusion, in the near future, AI will streamline the aerospace industry's design and flight while also increasing safety. This can largely be attributed to the fact that AI can complete a task far faster than a human counterpart, as seen in the design process and the supply chain process, in which an AI designs parts far faster than a human can, and in the supply chain process, where an AI can continuously monitor and predict, where a human cannot, and only look at one company and not predict readily into the future. Furthermore, due to the fact that AI has no attention span and can work tirelessly, it can increase the safety of the plane by continuously monitoring all safety needs at the same time and reducing the stress on the pilot. So, in conclusion, AI is the future and will aid into the next technological revolution. And in doing so, it should prove that AI is no longer a doomsday, but should rather be looked upon as the closest to a utopia that can be seen in the modern world.